Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 2. I hope that you are all adjusting well in this online class. As I mentioned it last week in my email, um, I'm recording this email on Sunday because tomorrow is Labor Day. So I typically send my weekly emails on Monday or Sunday. This week, however, I'm just decided to last week to record it on Sunday. So if you are home, you're not working tomorrow, and if you want to start basically working on new chapter, then you have everything. And I just wanted to quickly say hi and tell you what we're going to do this week. So happy Labor Day, by the way. This week we are going to, and remember that all the LSC campuses are closed tomorrow. But of course our class is online, so you can work on the materials anytime that you want. So this week we're going to study chapter 2. Last week we started chapter 1, but of course you didn't have any homework last week because the first homework on Connect is going to be over chapter 1 and chapter 2. So this week you haven't, you have a homework, okay? And I mentioned there are 2 types of homework on the syllabus and also in my email last week, but still I got some question. So let me just clarify that. The graded assignments are called homework on Connect, okay? Those are the ones that I care about, and those are the ones that they have deadlines, okay? If you miss them, there's no makeup for them, you will get 0. There's also another type of assignments that are basically reading from each chapter. They're called the smart books. They do not have any grade, but I highly recommend you guys to read them. And if you look at them on Connect, they are open from day 1 and they are due at the end of the semester, sometime in December, okay? So they are not graded, but they are good because they are basically short readings, I would say, from each chapter. When you are done with one section, there are a few questions that you can answer to see if you learned that part or not, and then you can move on to the next section. But they are not graded, but I found them, and my students over time found them very, very helpful in terms of understanding and basically forcing you to read the textbook, because you know that I post my lecture notes on D12, but do you read the textbook or not? And most of the times we are just lazy to read the textbook. But if you read these smart books, they are basically summary of the chapter that we are discussing, okay? So without going into detail in the textbook, you are able to read one chapter in let's say 20 minutes, okay? So I hope that you also find them helpful. But again, they are not graded, but they are highly recommended, okay? The key, as I mentioned it in the past, in my video last week, the key to success in this class is to stay at top of all the deadlines, okay, for your assignments, for discussions, okay? So they are not really hard, just try not to miss them. So you have a homework this week, and I try actually to, in my weekly emails, to remind you about all the deadlines. And all the important things that are happening in every week, in each week. So please pay attention to the deadlines that I put them in my weekly emails, because I do not want you guys to miss anything, okay? Remember that chapter 1 and chapter 2 are basically they are full of terminologies, definitions that are very, very important in both micro and macro. And we are going to jump from one topic to another in these 2 chapters, which is absolutely okay, because we need all these definitions to understand basically future chapters, and they are basically the language of economics. So we need to actually know them pretty well. But starting from chapter 3 next week, we'll focus on just one topic through the end of our class, okay? But in chapter 1 and 2, you will see that in one part we're talking about opportunity cost, defining opportunity cost, and then we're going to jump to another concept like marginal cost, as we did last week in chapter 1, okay? It's pretty much the same thing for chapter 2. The big part of chapter 2 is the end of chapter 2 that I definitely encourage you to pay attention to. It's called circular flow. It's basically a basic, it's a story about a basic economy. It's a closed economy. Look at the assumptions of the circular flow model. I recorded it, and it's on week 2 of our basically weekly materials that I posted on D12. So go to D12, go to content tab, click on week 2. You should be able to see lecture notes and all the other videos that I posted there. So the big topic in this chapter is circular flow. Circular flow model. You need to know the assumptions. You need to know how it works. You need to know the components of this basically circular flow model, and that's pretty much it. Okay, there are other definitions and discussions we have in chapter 2. It does not mean that you're not getting any question on the homework or on the exam, but I'm just telling you that the focus of our chapter is on circular flow, and that's the biggest topic. And for the midterm exam, you will get actually some questions from the circular flow model. Okay, so I would recommend that you redraw the whole thing when you're getting ready for the test or when you are reading this chapter. Okay, what else? That's it. I like to keep these weekly videos short. Of course, I email you everything, but some of us are like better if we talk directly to each other. So that's why, besides the weekly emails that I do, I try also to do short videos every week. So just to be in touch with you, and you can basically see me talking to you guys. It's like we're sitting in the classroom chatting about what we're going to do this week. Okay. So I'm going to keep it short. In the future, of course, if there are more stuff to talk about, I will talk more. So for now, again, welcome. I hope that you are doing well, and let me know if you have any question, and happy Labor Day. I will see you all very soon. Stay safe.